Power up with new Cheerios Protein.
It's here, San Antonio. Oppressive heat that drives your energy bills right through the roof. Now's the time to call Green Energy of San Antonio and install the Green Energy Radiant Barrier to keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Not only can you save up to 35% on your energy bill, but right now you can save $300 on our Green Energy Radiant Barrier.
Hi, this is Richard Ramos. Give me an opportunity to protect your home and family like I did mine. Best decision I ever made.
Told you.
Wandering out into this great unknown. And when it's done, believe that I will yell it from that mountain high.
Find summer, the Chevy Summer Drive. Get 0% financing for 72 months plus a total value of $4,000 on this 2014 Silverado All-Star Edition and no monthly payments until the end of summer. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
2 omelets for $10. IHOP. Everything you love about breakfast for dinner.
News 4 San Antonio at 6:30 starts right now.
And new at 6:30, a huge scare at a pool north of downtown ends in relief this evening. It was 2 young brothers, aged 3 and 4, who had wandered into a neighbor's backyard near Russell and Blanco Road, then fell into a pool there. The boy's aunt and a cousin pulled them out. They started CPR until EMS arrived. The boys were revived and crying and taken by ambulance to a hospital to get checked out. They say just as a precaution. A man accused of stealing trailers, tools, and even a hot dog stand has now been arrested. Deputies say Andrew Herrera stole more than $80,000 worth of items. Officers arrested him yesterday out in far west Bexar County. Neighbors tell us he had the stolen trailers at that house on Wildcat Lair for months. The sheriff's office says when deputies got there, Herrera did not surrender easily.
When our deputies were in this process of recovering the stolen vehicles, we found that the arrested person was actually hiding in one of these trailers and had to be rescued to get out of the trailer.
Deputies are also looking into whether Herrera could be part of a larger theft ring. If he's convicted on the charges he's facing, he could get up to 10 years in prison.
I am not guilty.
That's what former District Court Judge Angus McGinty has been saying from the beginning after being charged with bribery. Today, McGinty went back to federal court and made his not guilty plea official. McGinty resigned earlier this year. A grand jury indictment alleges McGinty received car repairs and other services from a lawyer named Al Acevedo, and in exchange, McGinty made favorable rulings in Acevedo's cases.
New details tonight about those cats we've told you about that were attacked and mutilated in Universal City. Police now say it looks like they were killed by a coyote. 3 cats have been found dead there this week in the Coronado Village subdivision. Police were concerned it was a person whose behavior might escalate, but now they're looking at the best way to deal with coyotes. And they are encouraging people, meanwhile, to keep their pets inside in that area.
It's a serious situation in Texas and other parts of the country. Thousands of immigrant children illegally coming into the country from Central America, causing a crisis. Some of the children who made it this far have done it at enormous risk, clinging on top of and in the spaces between the cars of what's known as the train of death. One couple in Florida is now helping more than 800 orphans. Gary Tuckman has the story.
Nora Sandigo loves children. She has given birth to 2 of her own, but she has responsibility for quite a few others.
You're a guardian to many children. How many children?
817.
817 children you're responsible for.
Yes.
Nora, who gets help from her husband Raymond, is the legal guardian of children whose parents have been kicked out of the United States for immigration violations. The children in most cases are U.S. citizens because they were born here. The parents are told they have to leave, but want their children who've never lived anywhere but the U.S. to stay in the U.S.
Yes.
As a guardian, what do you do for the children?
Everything is possible to take care of the needs they have, like food, education, and the emotional problems.
Nora and her husband are from Nicaragua, but are U.S. citizens, and regularly deliver food to their children, who for the most part live with other family members or friends, who often are also undocumented.
So how does Nora Sandigo keep track of her children? Well, it seems to be done in an efficient but old-fashioned way. In the storage closet with food and juice and water for the kids, there are also file cabinets with 817 files. And each one of these files tells one child's life story.
There are no state or federal regulations about guardianship. Parents sign a notarized form, and Nora becomes the legal guardian. Nora and her husband pay for most of their travel. They do get some donations, and that helps. But so would more sleep. Nora's phone rings all hours of the night, with parents begging her to become guardian to their children. And with the number of children crossing the border rising quickly, the number 817 will undoubtedly get higher soon.
San Antonio's Mayor Julian Castro will soon be in Washington as Secretary Castro at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD. Senate today confirmed Castro in Washington, and he says a good part of his legacy in San Antonio should be the initiative he pushed to help small children involved in education.
The accomplishment that I'm most proud of course, is Pre-K for SA. I felt very blessed to have grown up in this city and gone to the public schools and had the opportunity to go on to college and law school and to come back here.
The 10 members of the city council will elect from among themselves an interim mayor who will serve until next May. Castro says he will be resigning officially and leaving for Washington in about 2 weeks.
A 911 dispatcher takes a call, then realizes it's coming from her own home, and her young son is the choking victim who needs help. The dispatcher was able to stay calm and helped save her own son's life. Claire Doan has more on this incredible story from California.
Little Maverick was in the bedroom playing as his father moved furniture into the living room. When Robert Kimball returned, he knew something was wrong.
Tried to contact him, see what's going on, realized he was choking.
Kimball, a former orderly, tried to dislodge a metal washer that the infant had swallowed without any success.
As it progressed and he started having more trouble breathing, it got to a bright red, and then he just went pale in the face.
Kimball decided to call 911 with his cell phone. On the other end was his fiancée and a fellow dispatcher. He gave his personal information, including home address. That's when the dispatcher realized it was her own son who needed medical help.
Mommy mode kind of hit, like, that's my son. I panicked. Then I'm like, you know what? I got to get him the help that he absolutely needs.
Brittany Melcher's maternal instincts gave way to training and composure, despite her personal stake in the 911 call.
Being behind the console and in a room that you don't have any interaction with anyone, you see firsthand now that you're someone's lifeline. You're their guardian angel in those few seconds that you're on the phone with them.
She sent paramedics to her own home. They arrived just before Kimball was able to clear Maverick's airway of the washer, the one seen here in this x-ray. Emotions came later.
I'm very protective over him. And it definitely hit me when knowing that that happened while I was watching him.
And for Melcher, realizing the impact of her everyday job.
We actually help make the lives of everybody that calls us so much better.
In this case, that of her very own family.
Yeah, high five.
And coming up, many colleges are not protecting their students against rape. What is being done about that?
And the latest on pregnancy and marriage, what the trend is for couples. Plus, the social media site that's a friend to everyone is accused of not playing fair when it comes to taxes.
Hurricane season is here. Be prepared in any zone. Pick up your 4-zone weather HEB Hurricane Guide, free at any HEB. Be prepared. Get the guide.
Thought I told you to stay off our turf.
And what would you know about turf, Skipper?
Let's end this here and now. Let's dance.
Whoa there. Progressive covers boats and RVs, okay? Plenty of policies to go around.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the bad guy.
You threw a fish at us, so...
Yeah.
Coverage for land and sea. Now that's Progressive.
The Kia Soul, at just $179 a month, needs to be on your shopping list. It won the ALG Residual Value Award, has Bluetooth connectivity, an overall 5-star safety rating, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The fun-to-drive Soul should be the only car on your shopping list. At $179 a month for qualified lessees, there's never been a better time to visit your local Kia dealer.
All right, we've done a full inspection, and here's your estimate.
Measurement complete.
Front brakes? That's all I need?
At NTB, we only service what you need. Now get a summer price break. Buy 3, get 1 free with paid installation. Buy 3 select tires, get the 4th free instantly. Plus special financing for a limited time. Buy 3, get 1 free. NTB Tire and Service Centers. That's all you need.
Rise and shine with News4 San Antonio today.
We had complications trying to get into the costume.
Did it fit?
So, yeah.
When you rise, we shine. Weekday mornings 4:30 to 7.
Many colleges and universities, they say, are not protecting students from sexual assaults on campus. That's according to a report released today by Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri. This latest report from the Justice Department says that less than 5% or fewer than 5% of rape victims attending college actually report their attacks to police.
Sometimes finding out that there's been no investigations for sexual assault may on its surface seem to a parent reassuring. It should not be reassuring.
The senator says today's report should help design legislation that will be introduced in Congress to deal with this by the end of the summer.
Fewer women are married when they have their first baby, but more are living with the baby's father. That's according to new research. A little more than half of women 15 to 50 are moms. About 70% of women were married in the early 90s when they had their first baby. Now it's just 55% since 2005. And with young mothers under 23, just 1 in 4 are married.
The company that is a friend to just about everybody these days is accused of not playing fair. Facebook earned more than $1 billion last year, but wasn't taxed on a single cent of that. In fact, they got a $429 million tax rebate because of a major loophole. There is legislation, though, in the Senate now that, if passed, could close that loophole.
Everybody's been like, wow, everybody's been like, that's amazing.
Still ahead, a heavenly message found in an eggplant, a chef's inspirational story.
Plus, a new workout craze that feels like having mini trampolines on your feet.
I'm going to pass on that one. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon, lots of sunshine too. Temperatures again getting back up in the middle 90s. Chance of rain coming up. There was actually some pretty good showers nearby. I'll have details on that and much more when I come back.
How do I steal people's money? You got your free lunch scam. Get in on this opportunity right now. Plus, you get a free lunch. Your sweetheart scam, grandparent scam, those are exciting. Hello, Grandma? I'm in jail in Tijuana. They're telling me I need $3,000. Or if I'm feeling old school, I could just jump in your garbage. Come up with a credit card bill. Ka-ching. I'm now you.
Visit the AARP Fraud Watch Network to protect yourself from the latest scams and con artists like this guy.
Challenge!
We love our home and want to take care of it.
But last week our air conditioner broke down.
On the hottest day of the year.
The average repair cost for an air conditioner is $332.
And thousands of dollars to replace one.
Then a pipe started leaking.
But for less than $2 a day, American Home Shield has us covered for normal wear and tear.
We called American Home Shield, and they quickly assigned a contractor from their pre-approved list of over 10,000 contractors nationwide.
American Home Shield took care of everything. No more stress and hassle.
The contractors were so helpful, and we saved so much money. Our air conditioner is new, and our plumbing works great again.
Worry less. Call American Home Shield today and get the protection you need.
You'll be glad you did.
Call now to receive your free home protection plan guide. Don't miss this TV offer. Call now.
started the Loyal 10-Minute Challenge so you can make sure you're getting the best deal on your car insurance.
10 minutes, the challenge we're taking.
If you don't call, you don't save.
You know, I like your hair like that. It was a little taller back then.
We've all heard too much of a good thing can actually be harmful, and that goes for trying to eat so healthy. Turns out it could actually harm your body. This is a severe eating disorder that's called orthorexia. Dr. Martha Alanis, who specializes in eating disorders here, says orthorexia is a healthy dieting taken to the extreme when all a person thinks about is eating pure and healthy foods.
The emphasis is on becoming obsessed with only eating healthy foods that are free of preservatives, salts, sugar, dyes, so that they restrict their diet so much. They're very particular in the quantity they eat and the calories they intake.
So they don't eat enough. People limit their diet so much they can rob their bodies of what they need, some cutting out essential food groups like meat and often leading to severe weight loss and serious medical problems.
The first hospital dedicated to taking care of children is celebrating a milestone. The Santa Rosa Children's Hospital opened 55 years ago in San Antonio. And Pat Carrier is here. He's the president and CEO of Christus Santa Rosa Health System. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So it's a big celebration, 55 years here in San Antonio, and you celebrated today with an event. What happened?
Yeah, we had an event at the Children's Hospital and where we honored the sisters who actually started this ministry back in 1869. And, we had about probably 20 of the sisters there. And we also honored a sister who was the director of the outpatient services at the hospital for 50 years. She's passed away some years ago, but we had a celebration in her honor, Sister Mary Aiden Hannibode. And it was a great time. People really enjoyed it. And it gave us a real connection to the sisters who started this legacy so many years ago.
Let's talk about that legacy, the mission of the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word. Actually, like you said, 1869. They had this vision. They had this mission. What was it?
Well, they were asked to come to San Antonio by the then Bishop of Texas, Bishop Claude Marie Dubuis. And there was a cholera outbreak in San Antonio at the time. And he asked 3 sisters from the congregation who were in Galveston then to come to San Antonio and to render care. Now, this is the second outbreak of cholera that they had in San Antonio. They had one about 5 or 6 years prior to that where 10% of the population actually died. So they were coming into a pretty dangerous situation, if you will. And it really connects us to why we're here, because they were coming to serve people they didn't know, with also knowing they had a high risk of dying themselves from the disease they were helping to treat.
Right, and they wanted, and in the end, you're talking about, now we have this hospital that's 55 years old, and when we talk about, yes, they're looking down upon everything going on right now, but what do you think they're thinking as they see the legacy that's been left?
I would hope they would be very proud of what they started. We delivered our first pediatric services in 1874. And then in 1918, we opened the first wing of a hospital dedicated to children. Then in 1959, working with the request of the community, actually, they opened the first first hospital dedicated to children's care in San Antonio.
Thank you so much. Really quickly, why do you think it's so important to have a hospital dedicated to children?
Treating children is not like treating small adults. They require special care, the special equipment, special training from the staff. And we feel that having a facility only dedicated to children allows the best care to be given.
Perfect. Pat Carrier, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the work that Children's Hospital of San Antonio does for the community. Beamer?